What a beautiful day it is this morning. Good morning and welcome to Signature Morning on Signature TV. Today is Tuesday, the 11th day of November 2025. You're very much welcome. And today we have a new face with us, Quincy. Good morning.
Good morning, Uche.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank
here.
you. My pleasure is mine. You can really say that again. Good morning and thank you for joining us today. As you always know, we have a date here on the Signature Morning every single morning of the weekday, and of course we are going to kick off with a whole lot of things that has been going on in the country.
Exactly.
I'm talking about insurgencies and the attacks that has been going on, even the case between the Boko Haram and the ISWAP situation in Nigeria. It's really an alarming situation.
Literally left about 200 militants dead near the Lake Chad region. I mean, it's quite worrisome. You know, we're still off of Anambra State election politics, and now we're facing these issues of insecurity that have, it's not a recent,
it just got worse at this point, if you would ask me. And also this violence that is going on in Borno State and the nearby places as well. These are not just affecting the people in conflict, it's affecting the children, the women, and also education and security. It's affecting a whole lot of things.
Security system. I mean, a lot is being done, but a lot more still needs to be done to create a safer environment for people. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
And I am Quincy Roland.
Up next is our newspaper headlines and review. Welcome back. It's time for our newspaper headlines, kicking it off with the Daily Trust newspaper. On the headlines, bandits attack 5 vehicles, abduct passengers in Kogi.
And just above the headline, we have Obasanjo says, under my watch, U.S. wouldn't do anything in Africa without our knowledge.
Abuja Hospital mortuary drowns in stench and decay. Silva, EFCC puts FBI, NCA, Interpol on alert.
We also have federal government pushes for Poromado's transfer to Nigeria, and below that we have the PDP convention as Damagun-led NWC moves Wike's expulsion.
NACON reduces Hajj fare to 7.6 million naira. And finally, on the Daily Trust, many killed as Boko Haram ISWAP clash in Lake Chad region.
And going over to the Guardian, just written boldly, is it that 3 years later, hope dims for safer and pipeline supplies of Jet A1 to airports.
WHO declares 24 million living with diabetes in Africa.
And we have fraud, apathy threatening democracy, as Dixon and Amechi says.
Reps laud Tinubu's intervention, payment of protesting contractors. And on page 3, again, court adjourns suit on PDP convention. And
we also have telecoms operators warn of regulatory conflict in digital economy bill.
2027, 70 CSOs demand enforcement of laws to curb vote buying. Now over to the Blueprint newspaper. NAF airstrikes kill ISWAP terrorists in Borno, with riders destroy bandits hideouts in Katsina, Kwara. Troops rescue 86 victims, arrest 29 terror suspects in Borno, says official on page 9.
That's really interesting. And also we have Remi Tinubu and CAN youth reject U.S. claims on targeted killings, as well as how aviation can help achieve Nigeria's $1 trillion economy, says the airline chief.
Now, EFCC declares former Governor Silva wanted over alleged $14.85 million fraud, and Trump become Tinubu will mend cracks with international friends. This is coming from the federal government on page 11.
Okay, and we also have Trump become Tinubu will mend cracks with international friends, and that is from the federal government. And from the sports, we have the playoffs. Super Eagles begin training in Rabat.
Now over to the Vanguard newspaper. Still on insecurity, NAF strikes kill terrorists, bandits in Borno, Kwara, Katsina, others on page 5.
We can already see these things making heads on the newspapers. Yes. So we also have why we declared Timipre Sylvia wanted, says EFCC with rider. It coordinated political onslaughts as aid as Ijaw youths kick.
Now, on page 19, Nigeria's private sector credit soars 75.9% in 2 years. And still on the PDP, pro-anti-convention forces fight as court adjourns case to November 12th. On page 9, let's unite against extremism, Oluibadan, Shoyinka, NHRC. Now on the Nigerian Tribune, reps invite EFCC, ICPC to probe $4.6 billion global fund USAID grants.
And also we have on the page 5, we place high premium on stable power, says Tinubu.
We have Bebolo revokes MOA's C of O, asks site to be returned to Benin Central Hospital.
Okay, and also we have the reps invite EFCC, ICPC to probe the $4.6 billion global fund USAID grants.
And that is all we have on the newspaper headlines this morning. And now it's time for our review, and we have Chris Maduka. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Uche. Good morning, Queensley.
Okay, so going over the newspapers today, we have just noticed we have this case of insurgency between the NAF strikes to kill terrorists and bandits in Borno State, Kwara and Katsina, the Boko Haram situation, and every other insecurity problem that has made the newspaper headlines today.
Which, either way, the people dying, even if they are described as insurgents, they are human beings, then the ones who are trying to control them are. But one thing that has become clear, we want to link whatever is happening now to the President Donald Trump's threat or designation of Nigeria as a country of concern. Since that particular statement was made and released over virtually everywhere in the world, there has been so many issues of killing and destroying the insurgents. And I think that has brought so many issues up. We will be asking, so why has, if there has been this kind of arrangement over time, probably by now we would have been counting the number of insurgents left in Nigeria. Because with either directly or indirectly, the security forces, they tried their best, but this, like a wound, was allowed to fester and petrified and grow into cancer. And you know how the medical science describes how cancer spread. So bandits entered into Nigeria as a drop, and we're talking about it in drops. Now it's like it spread across the 36 states, from even Abuja. So much to the point that National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria received threats of attack from bandits. And so if, there's this adage when it says, let my dog and the neighbor's dog fight. Let my dog bite, my own dog bite the neighbor's dog to death. Let me pay. So in this case, the Nigerian Air Force and their strikes are decimating, or whatever word they use, to clear off these merchants of death. We welcome such moves. At least it start giving you confidence that at least something is happening. But over time, before now, not such things. So it's not like you wake up every morning and want to wish that Donald Trump will designate Nigeria as country of concern. But if that action has led to more serious action from our side against these merchants of death, then probably, you have to weigh at every option what is good, what is bad. So we have seen in the last 1 week a lot of effort by our security forces to deal with this serious issue of bandit and terror in Nigeria. And by God's grace, if they consistently sustain this kind of pace, we make much more progress in the near future.
Now, the EFCC is back again, is saying that former Governor Silva is wanted over alleged $14.85 million fraud.
And the Ijaw youth said is a calculated attempt to political subjugation. When you have such issue, you have to be very careful how you trade on. Which side are you trading on? Because are you trading on the Ijaw youth angle because Timi Silva is a strong Ijaw youth? Are you trading on the point of EFCC, who is a federal government agency, who has all right to know who is a fraud or who is not? So it's a highly sensitive issue. All we are asking for, in every situation in Nigeria, let there be justice, let there be fair play, let there be equity. Let, like Igbo say, Ebe belu ugo belu. Let the eagle perch, let the kite perch. Whoever breaks the hedge, snake, let snake bite that person. Let whoever go to remove bitterness from bitter leaf, let his hand taste bitter. But let the innocent Nigerians and all people who are innocent and proven innocent, let them go home free. Let there not be, intimidation, subjugation, suppression, all those negative words that keep dividing Nigeria into. And I think the Ijaw youth were in a hurry to react, because every time in Nigeria we bring tribal politics into serious issues, everybody will like anybody who is a fraud in Nigeria to be probed. I am saying, if EFCC has started, they are doing good work and they have a lot of arrests and conviction they secured. We were discussing that over time on this table. Let them go ahead, because if you ask me, from what I can see, I'm not working for EFCC. If you ask me from what is suspect and allegiance, what people allege, there's still a lot of people who have Nigerian money in their coffers. And it doesn't mean, let it not be that it's only when they have fallout with the government at the center, then the EFCC will remember those people. Let such thing not be, impression not be created, because it will always drown every positive mood made by EFCC. So it's them that know, because every man will know what is true. It's only when we play around politics and want to sound politically correct and have that negative mindset. That's why most of the good decisions, policies made by federal government, written on paper as a rule of law, are drawn into Nigerian complex political situation. But then EFCC should go by. If the man is, he'll go to court. If the man is, if they arrest him and bring him back, you go to court. They've alerted all the international investigation agencies. So if the man is brought back, he will face trial. If he's convicted, he will serve his term. Otherwise, well, our prayer is let only the people who are fraudulent, or those who are go against the law of Nigeria, let them be also get their pound of flesh from the law of Nigeria.
Okay, so another story that made headlines is the Hajj fare being reduced to about 7.6 million naira, and the president said it's to curb some expenses as well. What do you think about that? Is this the right time to be sponsoring this kind of travels?
The spiritual things has reduced the developing countries to excess dependency on God. So when you begin to discuss spiritual issues, you find a lot of people who attack you. It's only in Nigeria that somebody wants to follow what you call private spiritual alliance with his God, and the federal government will pay. In fact, people in government of different states in Nigeria use sponsorship or pilgrimage, if it's not to Israel, it's to Mecca, to what they call it, to make their followers happy. Or people that are in government, they use it as compensation or to make, and if the amount of money we spend going to pray to God, why we have a lot of children in Nigeria out of school, and we have this issue of insecurity and insurgents and banditry linked to high level of youth unemployment, and we still have this kind of amount. 7.5 million is one individual to go to Mecca for a few days and come back. If most Nigerians have this amount of money, I tell you, they won't go to pilgrimage. They will find a way of doing a sustainable business in Nigeria that will have a chain of, and then the same God, because anywhere we are told God is everywhere. I must not spend this kind of money to go to pilgrimage anywhere in the world, in either side. Because people will be watching and say, am I condemning going to pilgrimage to Mecca? No. Am I condemning going to pilgrimage to Israel? No. It should be paid by anybody who felt that his sin has counted so much that he needs to go to Israel pilgrimage to meet face to face with God, or to Mecca to face to face with God to find the peace. Nigeria should not. Why would Nigerian government sponsor people to paradise? If we get into these spiritual things, how long can we do this? Like you asked me, I don't think this should be our priority at this time, because like my people say, only then I walk at choke. When your house is on fire, you shouldn't get set about pursuing rats that are coming out of the fire. What we have in Nigeria now, Nigeria, honestly, I'll be told due respect, Nigeria is not at home, and that's not the time we should be. And then we have a lot of religious ground we can consecrate, and people should go there and pray to God. If the God is the God I know, He will answer from any point of the world, because God is spirit. I must not go to anywhere with that kind of money. Because my father asked me, if I use about 10 million to go to Brime to pray to God, how much blessing am I coming back with when you quantify it? Now, it should be proportionate.
Now, Dixon and Amechi are talking about fraud and apathy threatening democracy, and they're saying that rigging is like worst type of coup in our electoral system 2027. So, well,
I hope they are not saying it now because they are on the receiving end, because all the people who are talking about have passed through the government system of Nigeria, either as governor or as a serious high ruling party officials, and they dispose things. They also got involved in rigging. Without missing word, every Nigerian politician, they are the ones who know how to rig. They know who rigs. They know the process. They know all those things. So what happened is that each of them, when they have opportunity of setting records straight for the future, they will treat it like that legendary story of a man who wakes up in the morning and sees a chicken scattering human feces in front of his house, and he walk away and close his nose and say, it does not concern me. Now, at the end of it all, he will go and sit down one place and ask for ofaku and banga soup with obo. Then you come and ask him, you saw a chicken in the morning in front of your house, he didn't pursue, and he was using his leg to scatter the, and now you are asking for chicken leg. Which of the chicken leg are you asking for to eat? So what goes round comes round. Nigerian politicians will be in position of authority. They will rig. When they are out of office and the thing is affecting them, they will begin to talk. So who are they complaining to me to go and change the rigging? We all know that rigging is a version of civilian coup. That's it. Why are they not moving the National Assembly? Most of them here in National Assembly went there rigging. So how can they sit down talking about rigging? Almost all the Nigerian politicians in position of authority in Nigeria today, let them come out to wear with Quran and Bible, touch and say, if I did not hit below the belt to get political advantage, let the Bible or even bring Ogu and some traditional, let them swear. If they do and survive, they know I'm telling lie. But most of them are in position of authority today by rigging. We just saw an Anambra election. INEC still declared it free and fair. But people were shouting that they were buying, what is not rigging. They give it baptismal name, inducement, they call it several names. But these are things that have kept weakening the democratic structure. All the gains the labor of our heroes past to get us independence and drive us on the path of growth of political democracy. But then we don't want it because of selfishness and greed of Nigerian politicians. We are going to outgrow it one day, but something dangerous will happen for us to outgrow it because other nations of the world were telling us they passed through this. But the way we are going, I don't think we are growing up. We are growing down. Deep down, that neck deep into corruption, sleaze, rigging, and all the negative vices that are destroying our country. Let's go.
Okay, so looking at this same Trump threats to Nigeria, Remi Tinubu too has come out, as well as the Christian Association of Nigeria Youths. They have rejected this said situation on the targeted killings. What do you think about? I mean, these are people.
There's crowd renting. There's been a lot of crowd renting. When you buy crowd to say this, to sound. What are we saying? Christian Association of Nigeria Youth, under which newspaper Blueprint? Yes, today is saying they reject. That you reject does not mean it does not. You are free. It's a democratic country. You might say something and say I reject, but it doesn't make it true or false. If it's true that there is killings in Nigeria, they are using the word, what are you rejecting? Is it that there's no killing in Nigeria? The one you read in the newspaper this morning, was he killing? Not killing. Okay, let's give it baptism. It's not killing. Hey, I reject killing. It's not so. So it's killing now. In Nigeria, it's killing. People are kind or tied or whatever, so that they will accept. People are there's nothing they've not said about killing in Nigeria. It doesn't matter to them. At the point they operate, they can rent crowd to say whatever they want. The fact, go to your WhatsApp visual video. I saw one last night, and God is my witness. I never know that this kind of wickedness will exist in this country, where people will line up people and use AK-47 and kill innocent people, and they record and share. People are using big to scatter human's brain, alive, young people. And people are there talking. That is, I don't know what they're rejecting. Is it that this fact that the whole world has seen, that we also have seen every day? We wake up and we see killings. What are they rejecting? Can youth reject anything? The Remi Tinubu, our dear first lady, go ahead and reject. The fact remains. Why is your husband, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, making move, doing this? If all this is lie, denial cannot save the situation. The sooner, that's what they call crisis communication. First, accept the situation, then take assurance and show the people you are doing something, and let them see something you are doing. So you have to accept, you have to assure the people, and you have to take action. 3 A's of crisis communication. This is the peak of crisis communication in Nigeria if we handle it wrongly. Now the people are, even the bandits are, there's kind of, they're running amok now. Like you mentioned this morning, that what they are doing is totally, is going out of everywhere. In Borno, Zamfara, UK, United Kingdom, our mother colonizers have declared how many states in the north that their people say, don't go. Still we are here denying and rejecting. I don't know what else to say. Okay, but God bless Nigeria. Yes. God bless my grown-up angels. Of course, we are our new intake, beautiful question. And then all the people of the Signature TV, we say, if you have been joining us, go with us. We are going somewhere. When we get there, you see us. We join us on all social media handles. Join us on channel 265 SLTV. Be with us, comment, share, and we will get there. God bless you. God bless me also, because you have to give me strength to be shouting about Nigeria passionately. But remember that God's blessings are meant for those who deserve to be blessed. God
Thank you, Chris.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Chris.
And now the morning show will be back right after this break. Do stay with us.